All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. We're back. We're playing more of the Resident Evil remake. Finishing up the Chris run, the best ending run. And then going back for the Jibble sandwich, naturally. Hold on just a second, because I forgot that that this game requires the Xbox controller, because Steam input and the DualShock 4 just are not getting along on this one, weirdly. So Xbox controller it is. Oh. Hold on, wait for it. Any second now. There. Now it's plugged in. Okay. Now we're really prepared. Also, the sun got covered up by the clouds, I shit you not, like 5 minutes ago. I was just outside walking the dog and everything. It was bright outside, like totally sunny, and then all of a sudden just clouds. I wonder if it's gonna rain. It's been so windy, and it's pretty dark out now. It is going to rain. The more you know. Doesn't smell like it's gonna rain though, which is kind of weird, but the weather says it's going to. We were like right at the end of Chris's run. I think this is mostly going to be a Jibble stream. And by I think, I mean this is mostly going to be a Jibble stream. Munch one of those. I don't see why not. I forget that I'm going to need an open inventory slot, right? I want to carry these for right now. I'll hit another box on the way out, so it's fine. But I would like to have my shotgun shells. And I probably want to have 2 heals. Almost definitely I want to have 2 heals. No clowns farting in the basement. No clown farts in this one.
Has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks.
Alright, we want to go this way.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel
Gotta get the Jibble.
Deactivating.
False around? False is napping. She's been working from home the last couple weeks because her job is like moving locations right now. Like they just closed the office that they were in, but they're moving into a new one in like a couple weeks. So everyone's just working from home temporarily. And she said on my lunch break, which is right when I start stream, is when her lunch break starts. She said, I'm gonna nap. I'm gonna sleep. Her company expanding? No, just moving locations.
Jill, sorry I made you wait.
I knew you'd come.
Let's get out of here.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were getting squeezed on rent or something and just said, fuck it, we're moving. I don't know why they're moving, but that wouldn't shock me at all. All right, let's go Jibble.
Self-destruct system has been activated.
Come on.
Personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing
I don't even know if I needed this shotgun. Like, I genuinely may not have even needed to grab it. At least not for the run out of the labs.
Let's get going.
All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all logs.
I'm trying to resub, but I have to watch ads before I can on phone. That sounds about right. Oh, pro tip on phone. Twitch subs cost more if you're like if they're paid subs, they cost more on phone than on desktop. Because you know, like Apple and Google and all those I guess vendors, question mark, the app stores or whatever on everything on mobile like takes their 30% cut or whatever. So Twitch said if they're gonna take their cut, we're just gonna increase the price by 30%. That's what they do. Ah, the emergency door is open during emergencies. When you actually own the game, do I strictly have to rip your game? I mean, you think anyone's coming after you for? I'm kidding. Legally speaking, I don't think it is allowed, even if you already own the game, because I think then it would be like, well, yeah, you have the game right there.
This is Brad. Running out of fuel.
That seems scummy.
Chance. If there's anyone alive, give me a sign.
Twitch moment.
I repeat, this is your last chance.
This is my last chance. Jill! Where were you? You were just hanging out back there until this moment? The protection fees, capiche? Yes, you pay the 30% mobile protection fee if you sub on mobile on Twitch. Put that in that.
3 minutes to detonation.
The self-destruct system's activated.
Good work. Brad's up in the helicopter.
Those things are coming.
I'll take care of them.
But,
Chris, you just get in contact with Brad somehow.
okay.
We're just getting more, but instead I was paying Google. Yeah, I mean, she's getting the same because of that, but also Twitch is getting the same, and Google is also getting their cut. There should be a disclaimer when you buy stuff on Twitch Mobile. There honestly should be because of that. But obviously that would hurt them, so they would never, but like, just consumer practice-wise, there honestly should be. Just something there to be like, hey, by the way, if you buy things on desktop, it doesn't cost you as much.
Chris!
Oh, both of them made it.
Yeah.
The ultimate life form. Oh. Rebecca! Look out! That's a big bitch! Oh my god, I can't see. Oh shit, I thought I had one more loaded. Oh my god. Ow, fuck. Ow. That was my last shot? Yeah. Oh no, I have one more. My one. Oh!
Chris, use it! Kill it, whatever it is!
Who needs a shotgun anyway? I might as well. Blam! Blam! Uh-oh. Oh! I didn't need 2 heals either. I came very over-equipped for this. Put me down, you bitch! Rebecca, please. Or grenade. Grenade works. Thank you for just holding me and not doing anything. Take this. Still just as goofy in the remake. I love the triple cut. It freezing for just a second before it explodes. It's great. Staring lovingly into Chris's eyes. Everyone else was worried about Rebecca. I was worried about Chris. Boosh. No, we're only going to be doing the endings that are required. Is the game over? I mean, the first run, but we're going to have to do a lot of playthroughs of Remake. Hints of romance here, and False tells me that I'm wrong for saying that if we're shipping anyone with Chris, it's Jill. She says it's Sheva. I say it's Jill. But no, they never hook up officially at any point. Even though they should. Talk about a power couple, Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield. Oh, that's why I can't get comfortable. It's the hood on this flannel driving me crazy. I only have this on because I was outside and it was cold. It's been very cold lately. I ship Chris and the Boulder. Sheva. Why would I put it over there? Sheva is the exotic escapade is some crazy shit. Like Chris goes to Africa, hooks up with Sheva real quick, goes back home to Jill. That is crazy. Although I guess Jill was there. Ignore me. Oh, that also explains something. Better. Better. No, they should. Jill and Leon after that CGI movie, bro, don't talk to me about Resident Evil Death Island.
You did a fine job.
Thank you. 10 hours is not my quickest by any means, but thank you. Now play with features from the prototype version, real survival mode unlocked. Item boxes are no longer connected, meaning that items can only be taken from the box where they were stored. Also, weapon aiming is manual, meaning no snap aim. Experience these prototype-only features unavailable in the original Resident Evil gameplay. And Chris got a costume. Made Jill into a complete bitch. I feel like everyone talks about RE3 Remake like being the one that fucked up Jill's character. But bro, Death Island was the one that really fucked it. Hold on. You guys won't be able to see. Have I ever done a hard mode playthrough on my Steam account? Or I guess completed one. I know that I've probably started a handful. I'm looking through the achievements. I have never finished one on my Steam account. So I guess on top of doing Jill's playthrough, we might as well just knock out the hard mode playthrough right here. There's no real reason not to. Right?
Resident Evil.
New costume. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the good shit right there. That's great. We ignore the BSAA costumes. Just act like they're not there. They're not supposed to be there. We're totally playing the GameCube version, right, chat? The no BSAA costumes present here. Nope. Nope. No excuse whatsoever. Bro, I don't even get hung up on that with Death Island. My thing with Death Island in regards to Jill is them trying to make a canon reason for her to look exactly how she did in RE3 Remake. And that reason, A, being fucking stupid, and B, contradicting a lot of existing canon material where Jill didn't look like that.
Outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims.
It's silly. It's very silly. Even sillier because she's wearing the exact outfit that she was wearing in RE3 Remake. It's not even like she kind of looks like her. It's she's wearing like the same shirt and jeans. That movie is so fucking stupid.
Save for the remaining body of Kevin.
Poor Kevin.
We continued our search for the other members.
I can't believe that there's no ranks
and it
in
turned into
RE1 Remake.
a nightmare.
Like, granted, I wouldn't really have known prior because I've never shot for ranks in the Resi games prior to doing 100% and achievements and all that. But, like, they didn't have a rank system in this game. You complete a playthrough and it pulls up, like, all the stats from it, but there's no ranked criteria. It's just like, oh yeah, here's what you did. Which, the original RE1 didn't have one, to be fair. RE2 started giving ranks, but, like, all of them since RE2 gave you a rank at the end of the playthrough, so I just kind of assumed that RE Remake did as well. She even said during the remake that she would burn those clothes in the sewers. It was probably just her complaining. It is just her complaining, but that does make it funnier. Having her in that exact outfit in Death Island is just the most ridiculous thing. Along with the, you know, not aging thing.
Come on!
Not a big fan of ranks in horror games. I mean, considering like the way that Resi does it, I think is pretty good. Because you aren't aware of the fact that there are ranks or like how any of it is scored until you finish the game. So I feel like it's fine in Resi. Not having the scar on her chest from the device. The whole thing is so stupid. Like even just... Yeah. That's part of what I was mentioning with like how much it contradicts the existing canon material, because everyone thinks 5, but there's more than just 5 between RE3 and Death Island when it comes to Jill. Because like the Chronicles games added some expanded material in regards to what she was doing between RE3 and RE5. And that material is canon, even though it's maybe a bit silly that it is, but it is.
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Hey, Whisker, where's Chris?
Jill, no. You don't want to go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
No.
I'm going with her. Chris and I go back a long way.
All right. You two go. I'll secure this area.
Stay sharp.
If you use USB mouse and keyboard, it could break your OS and force you into recovery mode. It sounds like it's a good thing I'm still on Windows 10 for the time being.
A dining room.
Jesus Christ, Windows 11. Get it together, man. Does he voice him in 5? He does, yeah. Oh, 8 inventory slots? Bro, hard mode isn't even gonna feel hard with this many inventory slots. Holy moly. This is part of why I love playing Chris first when I play RE1 and doing Jill second, because then you get so used to 6 slots.
I think you better take a look at this.
And you get a big upgrade playing Jill. It's awesome.
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Let's just hope it's not Chris's.
No Microsoft account? Of course I have a Microsoft account. Who doesn't have a Microsoft account in the Big 25? Why do you have to touch it and smell it to tell it was blood? He just had to confirm. I love his lines in there in the original. Well, his and Jill's, to be fair. Jill being like, what is it? Blood. Barry's delivery in RE1 is so good. Oh. I think we'll be fine. Blood.
Barry!
What is it?
Look out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of it.
Good shit, Barry.
What the hell is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing. Let's report this to Wesker.
It just has a skin condition. It's a pretty bad skin condition. That's a lot of aiming for point blank. He just had to really lock it in real quick. I mean, the guy took 3 Magnum shots, even with all that aiming. You know, imagine you're not even aware of the whole zombie thing yet. This dude just took 3 fucking shots from that Magnum before he fell down.
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. But let's not leave this hall.
Good idea.
Wesker. The angles in Remake and the art design in Remake is so good. Just every time I play this game, I'm like, man, they nailed it. I love the mansion in Remake so much. Hello? Sorry, but someone, I think it was Tass, asked about endings. We do have to do more endings than we did in original RE1 for the 100%. In the original, you just have to get the best ending for each character. Remake, when you're doing achievements and stuff, requires you to get the best ending for both characters and the worst ending for both characters. So I'm gonna do Jill's best here as well. But then on the next couple playthroughs, I'm going to have to go against everything I know about RE1
Any luck, Jill?
to intentionally get the worst endings for both of them.
Around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris, and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay, then. I'll try the door on the other side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could easily get lost. Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
Oh, I almost forgot. It's a lockpick. You'd make better use of it.
Say the thing.
Thanks. I may need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. You ever played Crow Country? I did, but I only played like a couple hours of it. I didn't get very far in. I think I was just busy when it came out. But I did play it a little bit. Jill. Oh my god, it actually lets one in the remake? Oh fuck. I wouldn't have done it if I knew. I thought I was just gonna go get the cutscene for the hell of it. I didn't know it actually let a dog in remake. Well, shit. That dog might just be in the main hall now. Rewatched your Yakuza 5 video. I want to know why you called it a soft reboot. I did not call it a soft reboot myself. That's a quote from, I can never remember his name, but the lead writer of the series. It's an interview of his from right before it came out where he said that it was supposed to be like a soft reboot for the Yakuza games. Big map. Oh. It's the remake thing. RE remake bullshit. Where I just walk in and I'm like, all right, gotta sidestep that zombie on the floor. He's not there. He's here. You guys think I could? Of course I can. Of course I can. I'm built like that. Of course I can. Oh, it's locked. Shit. Lockpick doesn't work there. Yokoyama, thank you. Yes. It's an interview from prior to the game's release with Yokoyama where he said that that they were making it to be like a soft reboot for the series. But I think that they ended up kind of walking that back, like that general direction that they were trying to go in. With Zero. And just the direction that they took after, because obviously then after like Zero and a quick remake of Yakuza 1, they would just do Yakuza 6, which is a Kiryu game. So I think that they were intending for 5 to kind of be set up to like pass things on to the rest of the cast, but maybe after 5 that direction just changed. I don't know what the reason for that would have been, but definitely it seems like that was the initial plan, but it just didn't really come out that way. Because really, like 5, thinking about it, that absolutely could have been Kiryu's last game. It might not have felt like as overly satisfying if that was his last game. Because from what I've heard, 6 is kind of like entirely set up to be a send-off to his character. which again, they would only bring him back later. But I know from people talking about 6 that that was like the entire point of Yakuza 6 was to be Kiryu's send-off. But thinking about it, like, they absolutely could have just not brought him back after 5, and he would have felt like he was totally wrapped up. Like, his story would have felt complete had they not brought him back after 5. You're thinking about it now. Granted, Kiryu's story has kind of felt complete, like, since Yakuza 2. And they kind of just bring him back every single game to involve him somehow because he's Kiryu. To be totally real, his story has been complete at the end of, like, every single game. But, you know. Oh. I have to use 2 inventory slots for the lighter on Jill. Fuck. I want to go back to Chris already. Put me back on Chris. If Kiryu's in VF6, I'm going to be very annoyed. Me too. But you get 2 more slots? I know, but it feels worse. Doesn't matter if it is worse, it feels worse. I'm just going to leave it. But I don't even mean like his final scene in the game. I just mean like after Yakuza 5, within the context of that game, like forgetting that 6 or whatever came out after, just think of the story up to Yakuza 5. What more does Kiryu have left to do after 5, like as a character? What about his character feels incomplete after 5? Because in my opinion, like nothing. Again, that could really be said of his character at the end of pretty much every Yakuza game. Because literally the whole thing, since Yakuza 1 even, I said Yakuza 2 just because it feels like it ties into 1 so naturally. But genuinely, like after Yakuza 1, he leaves to go live a normal life, right? He quits everything, moves on. His arc is complete at the end of 1. And then every single Kiryu game after literally opens with them establishing a reason that he has to get pulled back into the Tojo clan bullshit. Like every single time they have to start out the game with giving you a reason for Kiryu to be there. Because he's kind of complete after every entry. And then they just rope him back in, and that kind of becomes his thing. But this is weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's so true that at the end of every Yakuza game, they could have just left him there and never brought him back, and it would have been fine. Like, nothing about his character would feel incomplete or anything. That is so weird to think about, because I've never really thought about it until just now. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He's dead. Man. When I played 4, I was kind of like, why is Kiryu even here? Yeah, they have to give you a reason for him to be there at the start of every game. So genuinely, like any Yakuza game, they could have just left him out. Outside of him being like the fan favorite. Like obviously fans want to see him. Oh, does hard mode remove some items? Is that why there wasn't a pistol mag at the bottom of those stairs too? It's been so long since I played Remake on hard. That seems about right. The Resi games up to this point haven't really done that for difficulty stuff. But this could be when they started doing that. Just like straight up there is less ammo, less defense items and all that laying around the mansion. I've been trying to move on from Kiryu for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, I did know about the Yakuza 3 thing. Bro, and I let this fucking dog into the main hall. God damn it. Oh my god. He's right at my feet. I don't fuck with that. He can't be dead. I'm not seeing a blood pool, but it might be because of the stairs. Oh, wait. I've only got 12 rounds in the pistol. I probably don't want to use them on him. Not Kiryu in every single game saying I'm done running away from my responsibility or whatever, and then running away again until the next game. Hey. It's kind of just his thing. Kind of ruined Daigo's life. I mean, as far as where I'm at, no. Daigo, prior to Kiryu picking him up and calling him in for that position, was just a drunk asshole. Like, he literally was doing nothing other than just getting drunk constantly and hanging around the town. And he seems, in my opinion, you know, there's the big yearly Tojo war because plot has to happen. But aside from that, he kind of seems to be thriving in that position. Like, he seems to be doing pretty well. And I feel like they specifically say, like, over and over that he was the right pick. Maybe that's just me imagining it, though. But I'm pretty sure that they say, like, repeatedly that he was absolutely the best man that Kiryu could have picked for that. He wouldn't have met his true love, Mine, if he hadn't. True. So true. Gonna head over this way. I don't know, I feel like Daigo's doing great. I still remember coming off of the PS2 entries. I didn't even know for like the whole 5-minute scene or whatever at the start of Yakuza 3 with Daigo, like in the car. I didn't know who he was until they said his name like at the end of the scene. Because coming off of the PS2 era, he's one of the characters who looked totally different compared to his Yakuza 2 model. Like, I didn't even recognize the guy. I thought it was some new character that they were setting up. And then at the end of the scene, they say his name, and I'm just like, what? That's not Daigo. Use the lockpick. I was the finalizing agreement for a young couple moving into their first property today. Let me tell you, she had the looks and he had the money. Hey, that's kind of how it goes sometimes, a lot of the time. The Daigo of Dojima. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that herb. I'd rather not combine greens if I don't have to. It'd just be like that, it do. I gotta get my money up quick. I'm gonna fall behind. Such a massive hypocrite, it's hilarious. Hey, but Kiryu, when taken at face value, just, if you don't think about it, he's like the greatest guy ever. Just don't think about it. But no, it's absolutely true. He does say that. And he was chairman of the clan for like 12 hours and just immediately dipped. If you just listen to him and you take everything he's saying seriously and just don't think, he comes off as like the most noble protagonist of all time. Just the greatest guy. But anytime you think about it, and to be fair, it's not a fault of him as a character. It's a fault of Yokoyama's writing, because he just doesn't really go back to his older material to refresh himself very much. And you can tell, because just the longer the series goes on, the more that characters within the universe, and probably just because of Yokoyama, they just forget things that happened, or like misremember things. It really comes across that he just constantly forgets his own material. Oh, please don't get back up. Feels so off looking at him. Yeah, I'm sure like playing the game, I'll get used to it. But I did not like the Rikia redesign in the Kiwami 3 trailer. Granted, it's not really a redesign, given it's just a new actor whose likeness they're using, but I don't like the way he looks in Kiwami 3 compared to original 3, is the point. And when he has nothing to work with, he just brings back dead people, true. Even begs corporate for a re-release of Zero so that he can add in a cutscene establishing some characters surviving who absolutely did not survive that game, and you can't convince me otherwise. Just so that later, when he does bring them back, we don't all go, what the fuck? Because we've already gone, what the fuck? Because we saw it this year instead. Which is probably what happened. Sounds like a ridiculous scenario, but honestly, it might not be that far off. He's like, please, I need to add like 3 cutscenes to the game. Can we do a re-release? Can we please release Yakuza 0 a second time, please? See you around, Proto. Have a good rest of your day. Oh. I was like, what is this empty slot? But it's literally just a healing item that I took out. Yeah, 6 handgun shots is not too great, but I can dip back and grab the shotgun real quick, and that will help out a lot. Nagoshi should have stayed. Bro, I see so many people acting like the direction the series took story-wise is the result of Nagoshi leaving. And as someone who hasn't even gotten to the point in the series where Nagoshi had departed from Sega, it's just not because of that. It's just not. It was like that with him there. Like all of the, especially the storytelling and writing flaws that started to pop up. That was all happening before Nagoshi left. That was happening under his leadership. It's nothing new as of his departure. I don't know why everyone talks about it like it is. It's kind of weird. But I guess maybe it could just be one of those things because most Yakuza fans are new and haven't played the majority of the older games. That, like, some people said it, and then other people who only played the newer stuff were kind of like, yeah, that's probably true, and just went with it and started repeating it. Like Blakuza 3 being a result of the remaster raising the frame rate. Stuff like that, that's just not true. But that the majority of the fandom says and repeats as if it is. The door won't open. The door won't open.
God, what did I do now? Wesker! Barry! Help!
Jill, you in there?
Barry? Get me out of here! The door's jammed!
Stand back! Grab my
Barry!
hand!
Don't mind me slowly sliding through.
Barry.
That was a close one. A second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich.
Really? Thanks. But Barry, didn't you say you were going back to the dining room to find other clues? I'm glad and all, but why are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check. Anyway, we should get back to searching for Wesker and Chris.
Thanks, Barry. I owe you one.
Don't mention it.
Gibble sandwich. He unfortunately doesn't say it here. Much as I wish he did. Doesn't have the sensitivity issues. Yeah, the Yakuza 3 remaster on Xbox is the only version, for some reason, that doesn't have that weird quirk with the thumbstick sensitivity. It's not the sensitivity, it's the, there's no, it's not a dead zone. I want to say a dead zone, but that's not the term I'm looking for. There's no... my brain. Basically, in most games, if you push forward on the thumbstick, there's like a little bit where if you push forward and then very slightly move it to the right or left, your character's not going to wiggle at all. I'm doing it right now on the thumbstick, but she's going straight forward, right? She's not moving. Because there's a little like buffer zone where it will stay perfectly straight even if you are not inputting perfectly straight. Because it feels better that way. Almost every game does it. The original Yakuza 3 on PS3 does it. The remaster does not. However, they updated the remaster only on Xbox One and not on PlayStation or PC to fix it and add that little buffer back. But only on Xbox One. The PlayStation and PC versions never got that update for some reason. But it released that way on Xbox. Like, when it first came out, it did have the same issue. They just fixed it in a patch that the other versions never got for some reason. It was an Xbox exclusive patch that fixed it. There are mods on the Steam version to fix it. I didn't download one for the review, I probably should have, to be honest. But there are mods if you play on Steam to just fix it. So it's supposed to be 8 or 16. Oh, shit. Yeah, basically, there's just like a few degrees that are hard-coded in. I might be able to take his head off still. I was not able. God damn it. There's supposed to be a few degrees. Like, there's supposed to be a little range up there in the front that will always, like, in terms of the actual input it puts through, just input straight forward. But the Yakuza 3 remaster, and again, weirdly, it's only a problem in the Yakuza 3 remaster, even though it came out on the same day as the Yakuza 4 and 5 remasters. Like, they all came out together. In spite of that, only Yakuza 3 had that thumbstick issue. And they patched it on one system and not on the others. So, thank you, RGG. Doing God's work, as always. It is so weird, though, that Yakuza 4 and 5 don't have the thumbstick issue. The remasters. And that the Xbox version got the patch, but the others didn't. So genuinely, for Yakuza 3, it's one of the games in the series that does have like a definitive best version of the game. And it's the Xbox One version. You know, which is weird for a series that was originally a PlayStation exclusive. The Xbox One version is the, like, objective best version of Yakuza 3 currently. Could stay that way. I don't want to pass judgment too soon on Kiwami 3. I almost just, like, blurted too fast. I was almost just like, well, probably will stay that way, but I don't want to be saying that before we even give it a chance. All I know is I've played Kiwami 1. So I understand the sentiment around people saying that the PS2 version is better. I agree that the PS2 version is better. And I hear a lot of the same thing about Kiwami 2. And a lot of people are assuming 3 will be the same way, but like, giving them benefit of the doubt ahead of time as well. Like, it's been, what, 7 years, I think, since the last Kiwami title? It's been a long time since they did a remake. Or I guess Ishin Kiwami exists. Never mind. It's been like 4 years since the last one, if even. I don't remember when exactly Ishin came out in the West. But sorry. My brain is trying to process this discussion and Resi at the same time. I'm trying to like route and plan and hold this conversation all together. Same year as 8, was it? 2023? I haven't played Ishin Kiwami yet. I've only played the original Ishin, so I wouldn't know. I know it came out in the 2020s. But Ishin Kiwami was also a very different remake. Where, like, I understand that Ishin Kiwami's gameplay is basically untouched. But the systems design got adjusted a lot. And apparently makes for a very different experience. But like the actual gameplay in terms of like the combat, the styles, the sub-stories, all that is pretty much the exact same. Which also makes Ishin Kiwami an oddity within the oddities that are the Yakuza remakes. Just makes it a super weird game compared to the other two. I'd heard the Yakuza 3 minigames were broken at 60 FPS, but the only one I tried that seemed broken was the massage game. Yeah, I didn't feel like any of of the mini games were fucked in Yakuza 3. The massage game felt a bit difficult, but I don't know if that's because it was like broken, or if it was just a difficult mini game. Like, it's hard to say because I didn't play the PS3 version that extensively. But I'm sitting on a Yakuza 3 bingo PS3 copy. Oh, I didn't get the map. Hold on. I should do that now that all the zombie corpses over here are handled. Someday I'll give the PS3 version like a full proper run for sake of comparison. I only played like the opening chapter and then a little bit of chapter 2 when I was doing the review just for comparison. I just captured a tiny bit of the original, mostly because I was testing the combat. That was my main concern, because there's so much talk about the remaster ruining the combat because of the frame rate and stuff. But that ended up just being total horse shit. So now it makes me want to dig deeper into the Yakuza 3 PS3 version and see if like mini games are broken because of the frame rate, or if that's also just bullshit. Because I didn't get to the point of playing mini games when I was testing it out. That's armor. That's also armor. Barely any difference. Remastered has updated textures and restored content, so original is kind of the inferior version. Yeah.
Barry.
Don't shoot me, Barry.
Jill, got any good news?
Other than I'm still alive in this madhouse? No.
Can't say it's much safer here either. We'd better secure our escape route first.
There's a dog downstairs, by the way, Barry.
All right then, let's split up again.
Hey, hold on a sec. Look what I've found.
What?
A can of fizz. It's sure to yellow and mellow those things.
Oh.
It's yours.
I almost choked.
Hopefully you won't have to use it.
Okay, Barry. That is a line that barely got any better. Him going from a weapon that's powerful against living things to referring to acid grenades as a can of fizz is not much of an upgrade.
What about you?
Oh, don't worry. I like the buddy system we have here.
I see. Thanks, I'll take it.
See you later.
Ciao.
The localization in the original is not good. Yeah, the localization in the original Yakuza 3, well, the reason that it's not good is because the PS3 version is not localized. It is directly translated, like word for word translated, without changes. Which, there's been some discussion in recent years where people talk like localization is a bad thing. It's not. It exists for a reason. And the Yakuza 3 original PS3 release is a great reason. Like, if you've ever played it, or if you're curious to see what literal one-to-one translation of a Japanese game looks like, the original Yakuza 3 release in the West is so painfully boring because of everything being translated one-to-one. I've talked about it before, but like, the reason you do localization rather than direct translation is because Japanese is a very literal, very direct language. And English is a language where, like, if I want to say something, there are like 40 fucking ways that I could think of to say it. So especially when you're writing in fiction, you can really play around with the way that you say certain things and add a lot of flavor to dialogue and conversations, especially, that Japanese doesn't really have the capacity for, just in terms of the way the language is written and spoken. Like, it literally does not have the capability of that. So that's why you localize games. Like, you get the same meaning and ideally the same emotion, but that sometimes is hit or miss. Cough, cough, Yakuza Kiwami. You go for, like, same feel, same meaning, but you try to spice it up for the English speaker so that it feels as interesting as it would to a native Japanese speaker. Because the languages are just so different. Has like a bajillion pronouns? Yeah. Yeah. And that's part of where, like, understanding Japanese has made games very fun to play in Japanese, because there's stuff like that where the language does have its own nuance that the English language doesn't, just in different areas. So there's a lot of, like, little interesting things that you can do writing wise in Japanese that you also can't do in English. But it goes both ways. It's just in different areas, if that makes sense. I guess I really didn't need to take an extra lap for that herb. I did collect my pronouns. Yeah, Japanese has so many fucking pronouns. Where, and genuinely, like, Japanese pronouns are kind of like just speaking generally in English, in that sense that I just mentioned, where, like, there are so many different ways that I can say something, and I'm saying the same thing, but just in different flavors. Like, in Japanese, you can do things like where the basic, most common pronoun for saying, like, I or myself is watashi, right? That's the one that you'll hear almost everyone say when referring to themselves. But if you want to make a character sound really masculine, like overly, like, macho masculine, you could swap out watashi for boku, because it is, like, a much more masculine, like, manly way of referring to yourself. And you can get flavor with stuff like that that you can't get in English. And it goes both ways, just generally speaking. Yeah, if you directly translate, it's boring as fuck. Because even if you directly translate, you can't translate that into English. Like, it just comes out as I, no matter what. What about Orewa? That's also a manlier one, but that's less, how do I say? That's less... I'm trying to find the word for it. "100% is all achievements." Yeah, we're just doing the hard mode, like, Jill best ending run right now. Nothing too crazy, because we're still pretty early on. He says Boku to flex that he is the ultimate life form trademark. Yeah. Stuff like that. Like, what's it? Cloud in Final Fantasy refers to himself as Boku. And that's part of, like, where I've talked about, from what I've seen of the Japanese and the English performances of the Final Fantasy VII remakes, I think the English one is good, but compared to the original script, boring as shit. Like, it does not hold a candle. The original script and performances are so much better in those remakes, especially Cloud. Cloud is night and day. Cloud in remake puts me to sleep. Or, sorry, Cloud in English in the remakes puts me to sleep. Cloud in Japanese in the remakes is, like, the single most interesting character to listen to in the whole game. Just because of all the little nuances of, like, the way that he speaks. That, again, you can't really translate into English. Like, things that even if you try to, they just don't work in the English language. English Barrett is good. I would say Barrett is an upgrade in English, but like everyone else that I've heard from the remakes compared to the English is better in Japanese. Granted, I haven't heard everyone. But like Red is way better in Japanese as well. Red is substantially more interesting. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Appreciate it. Yes, Nanaki. That's actually a big part of why he's so much more interesting in Japanese. Because the switch up with the voice, which, by the way, I'm not even a Final Fantasy fan, but that is like the silliest, dumbest shit ever. Anyway, the switch up with the voice in Japanese, you get the voice switch, and you get a lot of like that switch with things like his pronouns change. The way that he refers to himself changes from being like overly masculine and mature in Remake and for like the first half of Rebirth to being much more childlike and casual after the switch. And he bounces, and when he bounces between them, it happens as well. Can you answer if you know about it? Been waiting for this since 97. Oh, it's just because people have always shipped Cloud and Tifa together. That's it. That is just all it is. There's a certain character I know that's voiced by Matt Mercer, but we haven't seen him yet. I don't love my options right now. In OG, it's left to your fantasy. Yeah, pretty much. Tifa this or Aerith that, while my ass always had a crush on Yuffie when I was young. Bro, everyone is all like, Tifa belongs with Cloud. Aerith belongs with Cloud. But after seeing False playing through Rebirth lately, you know what I think? Tifa and Aerith belong together. Those two are gay as fuck. You can't convince me otherwise. Those two go together more than anyone else. I'm telling you, I'm not even bullshitting. Like, I'm being totally genuine. That's been said too. Not enough. Not enough, damn it. Oh, the dog. Oh, no, it's not dead. I was like, really? Because at first I didn't think it was. They're just good friends? No, dude. Those two are fucking... Ah, shit. I'm gonna die. That was a really long bite. Yeah, that was bad. Oh my god, get off me. Okay, it's dead now. Fucking bitch. Give me that collar, I'm out. Oh my god. No way, dude. And that gives me some time for at least a free green herb. I'm out. I'm out. I'm going the long way so that I can unlock the door. There's no real reason, but I'm doing it. Oh my god, please. Oh my god, please. Oh my god, please. I don't need the dog whistle anymore. Go through the door. Jesus, dude. All right, I got the collar, though. I knew that was going to be a shit show. I didn't expect the second dog to show up so soon, was the issue. A coin that is actually a fake key. Imitation of a key. Final lesbian fantasy. It's true, though. Why not throw Cloud in, too, anyway? No. No, those two for sure, though. If I remember right, I think on hard difficulty, they also... Or, the zombies become Crimson Heads faster. So this hallway is gonna be a fucking death trap later if I don't burn the other two, like... now, pretty much. But I don't have the ammo to defend myself against the Crimson Head that's already in there. I have plenty of healing items right now. Do I burn a healing item, just tanking damage from the existing Crimson Head, so that I don't have 3 Crimson Heads in there later? It might be worth it. Wait, no, that's the actual key. Put the imitation in. Cloud X Barrett, I'm down for it. I'm with it. Cloud X Barrett. Why not? I don't see why not. Works for me. I'm going this way. So I think the final sword key door... Isn't it to the piano room? Again, remake. I know in the original, the piano room is a sword key door. I think they might have changed it in remake. But there's something around that's still a sword key door that I haven't found. I'm gonna go for a dodge. Worth it. Oh no, this is an armor key door now. Is this a sword key door? Oh my god, it is, because I didn't inspect the sword key. Boom. What's your favorite? For me, it's a toss-up between RE1 Remake and RE2 Remake. I really, like, at this point, I can't decide between them. Is there... There's not a fucking item in here on hard mode. What? There's actually not a single item in here. I walked in, it's already 100% complete. There would normally be a pistol clip in here. Everything has to get shipped. We actually have a lack of positive platonic relationships in media. Well, I mean, I do agree, but also lived experience. False and I were great platonic friends for years. People shipped us, but we were like, no. Stop that, no. Not us. We're just friends. And now, you know. Ah, shit! God, I was trying to avoid that. Oh, it's not even worth... Oh, okay. I might as well. Now that I did that. Was RE4 Remake harder? Or is... Or harder or easier than OG4? I think the remake is harder than OG4. Yeah, I think it is. I've never really struggled with OG4, even on professional, and I didn't struggle much with the remake. but I did struggle a bit with it at the start of, like, when it first came out on my first playthrough. I definitely struggled a bit. I think most of it is just because they took out all of the, like, really overpowered shit that Leon has in the original. Like, consistent one-shot stuns to all the enemies is super broken. As much as everyone in the comments hated when I said that in my RE4 review, it's so broken. The remake making it more of an RNG thing rather than if you hit them in the head, they always insta-stagger was a great move, in my opinion. Because that alone makes the game so much more difficult. If the remake had the instant stagger on every headshot, it would not be hard. But without it, it's a pretty tricky game. I just heard you don't need to manage Ashley that much. Yeah, they cut back on Ashley a bit, which it's not like she's not there, but they just made her easier to manage, and they cut like one section where you'd have to manage her. So it's not like night and day, but Ashley stuff is a lot better in remake for sure. Coming from someone who's not had much of an issue with her in the original, it is just nice to not have to constantly be babysitting her when she is in play in the remake. Like in remake, basically what it comes down to with Ashley is if she's with you, the only time that it really becomes a hindrance is if she gets snatched, and even then, you just shoot a Ganado in the leg. Like you kneecap them and stagger them and you'll be good. I enjoy Ashley more in the remake because you can still play the game with her there. It doesn't feel like you have to be changing your entire approach just for her sections. You have to be mindful of her, but you don't have to change the entire way you play with her there, if that makes sense. Doesn't she help you more? No. Yeah, I do want to go to the item box. Oh, the note. Barry left off the good shit, or left the shipment of good shit is what I meant to say. Left off the good shit. How did that open the item box? What? There. That's the good shit. At least doesn't have an annoying voice. True. Didn't they remove her health bar? Make it to where you have to pick her up. I don't think they removed her health bar. Maybe they did and I'm just not remembering. Because I haven't played in a while. But I don't think they removed it, no. Or I think maybe they just made it like an invisible health bar. I'm not remembering exactly. But she can still die. I know that she can still die, like, from getting hit when she's with you. Does her face look a bit weird in remake? No, her face looks great. Because they used a model for her likeness, and it actually does just look exactly like her. Plus, RE4 Remake was when they finally got the faces, like, definitively nailed down. All of the RE Engine games, they've gotten a little bit better with the faces every time. RE4 is finally where I didn't feel like any of the characters had uncanny faces in that game. Her health bar is gone. Yeah, but she can still die, so I guess they just made it an invisible health bar. Because she can still, like, get hit by a big enemy or something and just insta-die.
Jill.
Barry, I didn't mean to get you that excited.
Right. Anyway, you should read this.
This is the same... Yeah. Yeah. I thought so.
What do you make of it?
Well, I guess we were right about this mansion being quite unnatural.
You have a way with understatements.
Where's the part that's torn off?
Well, my only guess is that it was the most important part, and somebody didn't want anyone to see it. Let's continue our investigation.
Some people just got big eyes. Yeah, the actress has big eyes like that. Like, that's just what she looks like. Or, sorry, model. She doesn't act. They just modeled her, or they just used her likeness in the game. Shit, I don't have room for this puzzle. I don't remember her name. Ella Purnell. That sounds right. Ella sounds right, at least. I think that is her. Oh, the girl on the Fallout show? Who's the Ashley face model? Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Remake. Ashley. Likeness. Ella Freya is the model who she's modeled off of. It is Ella. Ella Freya. I don't remember how many items I need for this, but it's probably a safe bet to leave these for now. Was Outbreak hard in general? If you play single player, Outbreak is one of the easiest Resident Evil games. If you play multiplayer, it's hard as balls. They scaled the difficulty so, like, it's insane how much of a jump up it is playing the same scenario on the same difficulty. It's like 10 times as hard on multiplayer as it is in single player. I need that, and then I need the hook, right? No, not yet. Which is here. I don't think I want to push it until this is slotted in, right? No. Was right. Not the bee. Yoink that. What a bitch. Fucking bee. God damn it. Not the bees. God, they took all the items out of here. Holy fuck. Straight through the bed. Is that a double green back there, or was it just one? Holy shit, dude. There are no resources in this game on hard. Like, none. Holy hell. Good thing I'm playing as Jill. At least I'll have the grenade launcher later. Jesus. Hard mode is hard. Yeah, but it's like actually hard. You know how a lot of time hard mode is like harder, but not like hard? This is hard. This is like, I'm kind of struggling. It's not often that you see me struggle on a Resi stream. But I'm struggling a little bit. I guess I haven't like died or anything. It's hard to say that I'm struggling until I start dying, but I feel like I'm struggling. I feel less comfortable than I typically do when playing Resi. I guess that might be a good way to put it. I feel like I don't have it all fully handled. I feel a little on the back foot right now. Even if I'm not like dying and constantly losing progress or anything, it feels like I'm having a hard time, which is not common. Why does it say there's still an item in here? There's not. Is it? No. I was like, is it this note? Oh, it is this note. Yeah, the disposal of dead bodies. Okay. Now this room is clear. Oh. Oh, dude. Dude. I didn't grab the shells out in the backyard. I left those shotgun shells there. I can go and grab those, and that will make things a lot easier for at least a little bit. Having shotgun shells helps a lot. Go figure. What was the canon route? Being Claire first and Leon second, or other way around? In Remake, the routes don't change the story. So, in Remake, it doesn't necessarily matter. In the original RE2, like in the old canon, because it did matter, it changed the story events a lot in the original. Claire A, Leon B was the canon route. Although, like, one thing in Leon A ended up being canon. Ada's death was the one thing from Leon A that ended up being, like, what they stuck with going forward, rather than her death in Leon B. I don't know why. So even then, it's kind of finicky in the original. But in Remake, it genuinely just does not matter. It's the same story either way in Remake. Is multiplication rather than addition? It does feel like that here. It feels like instead of adding like one notch to the difficulty, it feels like they like multiplied it by 2. That's actually not a bad way of describing it. Which is also, you know, a game that is drastically different between like normal and hard mode? RE2 Remake. RE2 Remake on normal is like a little baby game. You will not struggle on normal difficulty in RE2 Remake. But dude, on hardcore mode in 2R, you're gonna get fucked. Like, you get bit by a zombie, immediate danger. They cut like half of the ammo drops out of the game. That is a game that is 100% different between the two. And 7 on Madhouse is a lot harder too. I forget about that. I almost forget about that. 7 on Madhouse is pretty night and day as well. Didn't they cut a lot of places in 3 Remake? Yeah, like almost half of the areas got cut in Remake. I will take a battery pack. I'll pick this up just so that it shows as complete after I'm done in here. Oh, I don't have my kerosene on me. Ink ribbons are great. We love ink ribbons. think when I do the video for 2 Remake, I might play like 2 of the scenarios, like the A and B on normal. And then the second one, I might go up to hardcore, because even though I normally wouldn't, RE2 Remake is just way too easy on normal difficulty. And we're just gonna fucking tuck that up where I'm never gonna see it again. Did they change Nemesis from OG to 3 Remake? Kind of. A lot of people will just tell you yes, but like, not much. People will say that he got changed a lot. He really didn't get changed that much. He got changed a tiny bit. Basically, like, the encounters with Nemesis got changed, but the actual way that Nemesis functions in the remake is not different. Despite the fact that people will tell you it is. But the thing with that is that a lot of people, if you don't play RE3 multiple times back to back, you kind of get into the impression of Nemesis being like a total random chance stalker enemy with pretty dynamic AI and encounters and stuff. But what you realize after you play the original RE3 like a few times in a row, especially if you make the same decisions for the live selection stuff, is there's really nothing dynamic about him. He shows up in set areas depending on the live selection choices that you make. That's what determines where he'll spawn. And then, what's it? He can follow you through one door around, like in a 1-door radius around his spawn point. So like if you go 1 room away from where he spawns in RE3, he can chase you through the door. Which makes a lot of people be like, oh yeah, he'll fucking chase you around the map. He's crazy in the original. But then if you go through 1 more door, he's gonna stop. Unless that 1 more door is also right next to his spawn point, like if it's also directly connected, he can go in there as well. But if you move into an area that's not connected to his spawn point, he can't chase you in there. In the original. So the thing with Nemesis from the original to the remake, where people think he got changed a lot, is just that the original does a really good job of making him seem like he's super dynamic and based on random chance and everything, when he's actually not, and he is on like a set pattern, a set spawn point. His behavior is predetermined, like everything. It's just that the illusion of it is so good that people think he's actually very random and dynamic in the original when he's not. And holy shit, did we notice that doing the 8 playthroughs in a row that are required for 100%ing the original on PS1. And I made the same live selection decisions almost every time, because there are decisions that are just objectively better than others in the original. Because some of the decisions will, like, straight up skip a Nemesis encounter if you choose this thing instead of that thing. So, like, yeah, I made a lot of the same decisions when playing it 8 times in a row. And that's when you notice, like, yeah, he always appears here at this point in the game and will only follow you into this room, and then he's done. No way this game is 23. Bro, it's crazy. Like, how old this game is and how well it's aged. Granted, most of the tank control resis aged really well, but I would say Remake probably aged the best out of all of them. Not even just visually, like the mechanics and stuff in Remake are all just on point. I can go through this door. I forget there's a door right here. There's the Crimson Head. I was waiting for him to jump me. I wasn't sure where exactly he was spawning, though. Oops, you have to use the... They really should have just made it so you could use either of them, rather than using the fuel canteen specifically, because it's annoying every time. I go to hit the lighter and it says, oh, you don't need it. Because you can only do it with the canteen for some reason. All right, I probably don't need to be carrying the pistol with me, to be honest. If I'm gonna carry the kerosene and everything too. I would love a Code Veronica remake. I'm one of the few remaining Code Veronica defenders, to be straight up, but I still, like, it's one of those situations where none of the Resident Evil games need a remake. But any of them that Capcom decide to produce, I'm still gonna be like, fuck yeah, I'll play CV remake, 5 remake, whatever. It all sounds great. Like, I'll take it. Even if the originals don't need to be remade. 5 kind of needs to be remade. 5 has aged fairly well, but it could use a big upgrade for sure. Oops, I was looking at chat. I think CV honestly aged more gracefully than 5 did, but that's sort of, you know, up to whether or not you can deal with tank controls. If you can, if you're not bothered by tank controls, then CV is still, like, great. There's really not much about it at all that aged poorly. I just wish they were all playable on PC and modern consoles in an official capacity. Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on that even now, though, because, like, we did get the GOG ports of the PS1 trilogy, and they're kind of shit. Like, it's great that there is that option, but at the same time, that option is just worse than the original PS1 versions, right? So even then, it comes down to, like, I would love for them all to be playable on modern systems, but they also, you know, they need to be done right. If it's a downgrade from the original, then would you crack the BOW for $1 million? Which one? Also, False, do I have permission? Well, hold on, let's find out which one first. I actually just maybe like a few weeks ago explained this slang to her. This specific piece of Gen Z slang. What does this even mean? We talked about this recently. Let's say Nemesis for $1 million? False? Thoughts? Can I? It honestly, it comes down to what she says. Like, fuck them? Yes. Can I fuck Nemesis if I get paid $1 million for it? Can I fuck Nemi for $1 million instead? Yeah. I mean, if that's allowed in the rule set, of course. $1 million is a lot of money, chat. Like, let's be honest here. $1 million is a lot of money. You know how much I can do with $1 million? Buy a house in cash, invest the rest of it, whatever's left over. Boom. I just skipped like a good 10, 15 years of financial progression. More than that, to be honest. $1 million is a fuck ton. But like the entire... Bro, it is like a good 15 to 30 years of financial progress skipped, because buying a house in cash means we skip the whole mortgage. We just buy the house. That is, we've skipped 15 to 30 years. Because you have no debt? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, no interest on the house, immediately fully paid off, we have a house. That genuinely, that is like 30 years of financial progress skipped by fucking the nemesis. I would do it. Immediately have the wealth of like a 55-year-old Chole. I would do it. I would do it. What am I doing now? I guess just opening up more map. You'll never shit the same? No. I'm fucking him. You misunderstand. I am not receiving. I'm not. Nemi is a sub. That's the thing for me. Just get a fucking like clothes hanger. Because he's going to smell awful. There's no way. No, you just gotta assert dominance on him. He's easy. Nope. See him choke out Jill. What are you watching? No, that's just in the game. Gentle or rough? Toys or no toys? Hard to say, hard to say. I'd whore myself out for $1 million, I would. And I won't even pretend like I wouldn't. That would be ridiculous. You're the one getting stretched? No. You asked me if I would crack him. Which, just by the vocabulary you used, means that I am giving, not receiving. I am never letting Jill get hit by him. Where'd that second zombie go? Is he just like way back at the end of the hall? Oh, fuck. You wouldn't be able to crack him? Okay, we're changing the rules now. We're getting a little out of hand here. It's probably fine. God knows there's not shotgun shells in that closet, though. I came in here to grab them. I know that they took those out. The way that hard mode has been going so far. Oh, they changed it to a defense item. I can live with that. That works for me. I only have one taser. Armored Core review guy. I'm still the mech guy. Fair enough. The four-legged one? I don't know. The four-legged one is remake only. Or no, it's not. It's just, it's different. I thought of the four-legged one from remake, not the one from the original. He does go on four legs at the end of the original. I forgot. In the original where he gets like all bubbly. Oops, I didn't mean to open that again. You think Nemi gives a fuck about rules? Hey, if he tries to break the rules, I'll give him stars. Come on now. Looking up the all fours one, oh my. What, the remake one? Is that what you're seeing? Because that's wild. That they visually changed Nemi in the remake. A lot. Not at the start of the game, but in terms of how he evolves over the course of the game, yeah. I forget about that. They did change him visually quite a bit. Oh. They moved the shells to here. Compared to original. I don't know. Shells might be there on normal difficulty in remake too. My memory with RE1, like my instinct normally leans more towards the original than the remake. For like where items are and everything. Because I'm used to the tiger giving you a crest to escape to the guardhouse and magnum rounds. But here it gives shotgun shells and I don't even remember what else. It might be a, is it an MO disc? The other item? I don't remember. I'm back because I'm grabbing my shotgun again. I guess we're just going over to the other side of the mansion then. Going back over to the east side. For the armor key stuff over there. I was about to save, but honestly, no, I'm gonna save here. That is actually a good idea. So I was gonna say I might as well save over there, but I'm not gonna go to the save room. I'm gonna go straight to the armor key stuff when I get there. All right, hold on, chat. I gotta take a piss break. I've been chugging water and caffeine. Oops, that's the wrong screen. I'm not ending. I'm not ending. I am going to be right back. I'll be back in a minute. Feel free to get up, get a drink, snack, bathroom break, whatever, while I'm up. And when I get back, we continue blasting through the mansion section. I can easily be in the guardhouse by the end of stream, but I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Oh. Hello, Resident Evil. There. Can't believe I still haven't finished this game. The stream is actually motivating me to play it properly. It's so good. This is definitely tied for my favorite Resi game. It's just so, like, the level design, the balance, the atmosphere, the art, everything in RE1 Remake is just chef's kiss. They nailed it, all of it. Oh, you're right there. Yeah, we're just gonna swerve there. We will go this way. And hard mode feels really well balanced too. Because I say that I'm struggling, I'm not. I have few resources, but like... what's it? That is helmet key, okay. I'm not dying. I'm not on the verge of death. It's making it a little tricky, but I'm managing. Reckon Fallout remasters get announced in the anniversary stream? No. Only because, multiple Fallout leakers, like insiders who typically are in the know about Bethesda and Fallout stuff, multiple of them have come out and said don't expect any like remasters or announcements of that caliber on Fallout Day this year. Because there were so many people saying that that's when they were going to announce stuff. But it got to the point where so many people were saying that some of the most trusted leakers in the community just came out and they were like, hey, there's nothing to indicate that they're going to announce anything like that, so don't expect that. I shouldn't have gone this way. I forget. Although, shit, the entire point of me turning back was that I don't really need to go through that hallway anymore. But still, shit. Could have 76 updates, yeah. Probably just 76 updates, to be real. I want Fallout remakes. Gonna have you play 1 and 2 just in case. Yeah, I've been... Well, I'm not very far in Fallout 1. But I started up Fallout 1. It's cool. Pretty neat game so far. I can't go this way. I do need to... I think there's other stuff I can do here. I know there's other stuff I can do here. But fuck me, I can't get to that one room from here because the door handle is broken. Or wait, no. I think I only went through there once. I might still be able to go there, actually. Did you go down on a liquor for $1 million? Again, $1 million? $1 million is a lot. Like, I gotta be real, $1 million is a lot. Son of a bitch. Isn't Lady D a tyrant like Nemi? No. The most recent tyrant that we saw, well, In the mainline games, the most recent tyrant was Nemi. We haven't seen a tyrant since the original trilogy in the numbered games. Or sorry, Code Veronica. Duh. I don't know how I forgot about CV. We saw a tyrant in CV. Never mind. It's not numbered, but it is like mainline numbered. We saw a couple in the Chronicles games, like in some of the new material from those. But we haven't seen a new tyrant in a long time. Because the tyrant is you know, I keep forgetting that it does that. A tyrant is the result of the T virus. The T in T virus is shorthand for tyrant. It's called the tyrant virus. So we haven't seen a tyrant in that long because we haven't seen the T virus in that long. And we won't see another one until they inevitably at some point go, yep, T virus is back. But no, the last time we saw a tyrant in like the numbered games was Code Veronica. Design of the sun and moon on the plate. Oh. Switch. Oops, no. Switch. Boom. 9 has potential. I don't think that's a tyrant. And I don't think the T virus will be back in 9 either. I'm not a believer. I'm aware of all the like leaks and rumors, but I'm not a believer of anything T virus appearing in 9, personally. Including Lisa Trevor. I don't think that's Lisa Trevor. Doesn't Dead Aim have tyrant variants?
What happened?
Dead
You're
Aim?
wounded.
I don't even remember, dude.
This whole place is a killing zone.
Dead Aim was the T plus G virus.
What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
Bring me serum. I saw some, but didn't bring any.
I'll go and get it, okay? You're gonna make it.
Thanks.
I forgot I was gonna have to do this. It's by the Ultra Kill devs. Is it just published by New Blood? Because it's not by the Ultra Kill. There is a Ultra Kill dev, and he's still working on Ultra Kill. Ultra Kill is a solo dev. He's had some assistance with like art and music, but it's a solo dev project, just published by New Blood, who is just a publisher that mainly does, or mainly picks up like high quality indie titles to publish. But yeah, it can't be by Hakita. If it was made by Hakita, I definitely would have heard about it. Because I follow Hakita on Twitter because he's great. I would know. It's New Blood, right? That public, yeah, it is New Blood. Because there's New Blood and Devolver and 3D Realms. There are a few of them right now who mainly do like high-profile indie publishing. And sometimes it's a little hard to keep them straight. But I think Ultra Kill is New Blood. Going back to Richard for a second, I forgot where I was pathing to. Did you adjust the display code closer to the original? That can help a bunch. It's too big. Or if it's too big, it doesn't really work. I just left it at the original resolution because it's one of those games where the HUD and the game in general just shrinks. I said the HUD, but it's the whole game shrinks when you raise the resolution, which is not terribly uncommon for like old isometric games like that, because sprites and backgrounds and stuff just have a resolution. Like Diablo, the original Diablo, if you raise the resolution, does the same thing, where the HUD and the game itself both just shrink.
Hang in there.
Because it just basically zooms out to keep everything at its normal resolution.
Here's my radio. Take it.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Does it ever not hurt?
Oh, he is fine. I was kind of just joking, but he is fine. Just suck out the venom. He's cured. Look. Perfect. Boom. PS2 era game you want remade, remastered? I would love, because we know that Bluepoint is hiring for a third-person action game right now. And a lot of people have immediately thought that that means Uncharted. But what I'm not hearing many people talk about, and what I would love, is if Bluepoint's new project is the original God of War. I think that would kick so much ass to get like an old PS2 style God of War game, just with modern visuals and stuff, and just quality of life improvements. I think that would kick so much ass if that's what they're working on. I would love that, man. If Bluepoint's new project is God of War. It absolutely could be. Because Bluepoint, we know, got pulled off of the God of War MMO project. So them working on a third-person action game now, it's not terribly unlikely that they're trying to use a lot of those assets and like possibly even just the foundation of that game to remake the original instead. I would love that. That would be so sweet. Everyone just immediately defaulted to it's Uncharted 1, but I really am hoping it's God of War 1. Plus, God of War is just a way better game. I said what I said. I said it. And I fully, truly believe it in my heart. It's gonna drive me nuts. I'm fixing it. Boom. Fixed. Sorry, I had to. It's an original IP. I heard it was a new IP. Am I mistaken? I have not heard anything about original IP. Plus, I don't think we would know that, because the only leak that came out for third-person action game is that they had job listings up, hiring designers who have experience on third-person action. Like, that's the only leak that we really have from Bluepoint right now. So you may have heard new IP, but at least from what I've seen leak, unless something new came out, I would not believe it, personally. Like, someone absolutely could have said it. It's a green crown and a purple necklace. Purple necklace, boom. But I'm just going off of the the one thing that came from Blue Point, and all that was that they're looking for designers who have experience on third-person action games. There we go. Uncharted 4 is better than the first God of War trilogy. Who's your dealer? Out of curiosity. Does he ship to the US? Possibly. Maybe. Could I get that good shit over here? There we go. Thank God I did not use that door more than once. So I didn't have to go through the fucked up zombie hallway that I left for myself. Right. I'm just going back. I'm going back up. Need to make new games, IMO. I would agree with that, actually. I feel like Sony hasn't made like a new high-profile exclusive in a minute. I feel like they've genuinely just, for this whole gen, been doing nothing but sequels to exclusives from the PS4 era. Or, you know, in the case of like Returnal getting a sequel very soon, stuff from like the launch of the PS5. And even Returnal wasn't that big sales-wise. Concord? You're right, I forgot. They did do something big and new, didn't they? Concord. Yes, of course. Uncharted 4 is really special. I mean, to be fair, some of my Uncharted beliefs, my views on the Uncharted series definitely come from playing God of War growing up, and while that was in its prime as well. Because Uncharted, to me, has always just been... Or did I say God of War? I meant to say Gears of War. I may have said God of War. From Gears of War. My bad. Uncharted, to me, has always been Gears of War, but with worse shooting mechanics. More like cinematic set pieces, but generally less interesting campaigns and less likable characters and stories. So, like, I've never been the most positive on Uncharted. Just because to me, it's always, like, Gears has been right there. And has just been better. God damn it. Less likable how? Like, I like Nathan Drake. But Nathan Drake is not Marcus Phoenix. Or Dominic Santiago. Or the Coltrane. Or even Baird. He's not even Baird. Damn it. He's not. Can I not? I was gonna say, can I not push it from this side? But you have to get in there just right. Like, I like Nathan Drake, but I don't love Nathan Drake. I love all of the classic Gears characters. Like, they're all fantastic. You're going in with the wrong expectations? Not really. It was, at the time that it came out, the direct answer to Xbox's high-budget third-person shooter. Like, primarily single-player at the time. Gears, when it first came out, like with Gears 1, was meant to be like one of those games that was a single-player experience and also had multiplayer, but that's not what you were there for. But the multiplayer ended up getting really popular unexpectedly, and it became more of an emphasis afterwards. But Uncharted was a direct answer to Gears, like, from its inception. It was a game made for the purpose of competing with that franchise. And it's different, and it has its own flavor to it, but I just don't enjoy the flavor of Uncharted anywhere near as much. Reloaded multiplayer really dropped off. Yeah, I was saying even before Reloaded came out, though, Reloaded's multiplayer never stood a chance. It just never did. Because, like, it's Gears 1, and they faithfully remade it. Like, the maps are the same, flow the same, spawns are the same, all that. Like, it is Gears 1 multiplayer. And there's no horde mode, like there's no PvE for more casual or newer players to get into. And Gears 1 was janky, and because of some of the jank and the exploits that are in there, it's also one of the most skill-based Gears games. I didn't mean to put them in there. So, like, of course, what Gears Reloaded was always going to be, and some people thought I was crazy when I said this pre-release, but look where we are now. What ended up happening was, like, any new players who tried to get into the series with Reloaded and try out the multiplayer just immediately got stomped by people who have been playing Gears 1 for 20 years. Because it's not one of those games that is easy to pick up and learn as a new player. It's super hard to get to grips with. They had no, like, PvE outlet to keep going back to and enjoying outside of just replaying campaign if they wanted to do that. So basically, like, everyone just kind of got fucked as far as new players go and bounced. And then even a lot of returning players just couldn't compete with the guys who have really been playing Gears for a long ass time. They got their asses kicked too. They bounced. So, like, it really is a game that the only people who are still playing and enjoying Reloaded for the most part are the people who are, like, the absolute best Gears players. So you favor the philosophy of if he ain't hurting nobody, don't fiddle with him? Yes. Uncharted was competing with Tomb Raider at that time. Tomb Raider was Sony at that time. And Tomb Raider even, by that point, didn't have the market power that it did in the late 90s. Because at that point, by the time that Uncharted came around, Tomb Raider 6 would have been out, right? I think so. I say that it was. Tomb Raider 6 was out. And bro, by that point, people were kind of over it. Because Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 are pretty good. Varying quality, but pretty good. Tomb Raider 4 is really iffy. Some people love it, but not many. Tomb Raider 5 and 6 were both not good. Neither of them were received well. Neither of them are looked back on fondly. Rough. Probably a taster for E-Day next year. Definitely a taster for E-Day. What about Tomb Raider Anniversary? Is that the HD collection from recent years, isn't it? Or I guess the 2 collections? You have to have yellow tape, paint, or something had to be labeled yellow. the reason for yellow tape and paint and all that is not because developers think that players need that. The reason for it is that it is so much easier to make objects stand out that way in modern game engines. Because traditionally in level design in games, or actually I guess this kind of extends beyond level design with the yellow paint discussion. It's primarily a level design discussion, but it kind of extends beyond. Primarily, or traditionally, prior to like a few years ago, what you would do to make an object stand out is you would lead the player to it through breadcrumbing, through lighting, etc. Like I can, right here, right? You walk into the dining room in RE1 for the first time, right? You walk in, you take some steps. You've got this big ass table. This shot frames the clock and the painting, which are important later. You keep going, because you can't do anything with those right away. Look at how this camera angle has the table quite literally pointing right to the emblem in the back. Your eyes are naturally going to go to the end of the table, and right off of that, there's the emblem, right? And then you go back here, and they put this fireplace that's giving off light directly under it, so that you naturally are going to feel drawn to this spot on the wall and interact with it. The yellow emblem I put there, it would be a brown emblem typically. But like, there's a lot of thought in traditional level design given to how to guide the player to the objects that they need to be interacting with. A lot of people just think lighting, but there's so much more beyond it. Shit, I need to look at the painting actually. And like literally that's just the one thing that I was able to show in the exact room that I'm in when this discussion came up. Like that's part of what separates good and bad level design too, is the ability to lead the player through design. Like that's why I've always been a terrible level designer. When I worked in dev, I preferred to never touch it if I could avoid it. I left it to others because I know my strengths. I was terrible at it. I was good at making gimmicks for levels. Like I remember when I was working on, what's it? Oh, can I talk about that? I don't know if I can tell that story, actually. I am still under NDA for my work on that. I don't know if I can actually talk about it. I had a great story, but I genuinely don't know, and I don't want to fuck with it. I do not want to push NDA with that publisher. I don't. So I won't. But point being, I was good at designing like gimmicks and basically like concepting them and bringing them to the level designers, but I was terrible at making the levels. I left that to the level designers, but I would absolutely, if I had a fun idea, bring it to them. And the game ended up getting shuttered. The studio got shuttered after I left, about a year after I left. But a couple of gimmicks that I concepted and brought to the level designers were going to end up in the game. Like in the final game, just it got shuttered. A lot of modern games are super saturated and have high detail. Yes, that is part of it, is that the reason, and it's not laziness, is what I was going to get to. Sorry, I kind of got off track, but thank you. It's not even directly laziness. It is because there's so much intricate detail and a lot of like saturated colors, brighter lighting than we used to have in games, typically speaking. that it's harder to guide players through the more traditional means in modern games. So something that's really easy to do is just, even without level design, like this goes down to like the modeling team, the art team. They'll just be like, yeah, fucking smack some neon yellow on that bitch. Stands out immediately, right? It's not because they think that you're stupid. It's because the other options they have aren't as useful anymore. Like, through the progression of graphics technology, the old techniques that we used to rely on the industry, or in the industry, sorry, have become more difficult to use. Hyperrealism makes it hard to pull off. It does. The more realistic your game engine looks, the harder the traditional methods are to implement. They can plan out the level that way. Yeah, I remember, what's that? Yeah, I remember streaming Wolfenstein 2 when that came out, back in like 2017 on Twitch. The new Colossus. And I remember in this one part of the game, which is a very linear FPS game, for those who haven't played it. There's this one part where you have this level that has like multiple paths and stuff within it, but there's obviously like, it's one of those areas that branches out and gives you a lot of options for stealth and combat, but then it all comes back in and you're supposed to go this one specific way after that area. So what they did is that one of the branching paths, like in this arena, has a string of red carpets. I shit you not, like separate rugs. Rug is the word. It has just this gigantic string of bright red rugs across the floor that lead you to the one door that you're supposed to exit through at the end of this arena. And it seems so silly when you notice that that's what they're doing. But genuinely, just stuff like that you won't even really think about does guide you way more than you might think. Like, just naturally, your eyes, like, latch onto it. You see, like, a line, and without even thinking about it, you just kind of go to the end of that line. And if you start looking for it in, like, any of your favorite games from 2015 and prior, especially, because newer games have a lot less of it. But go to stuff that's like older than 2015 just to be safe. Play any of your favorite games and start paying attention to the way the levels guide you. You'll see that it's really not different from yellow paint in terms of how they're guiding you. It's just they didn't slap neon yellow on everything, if that makes sense. Is Jan the only way I have to go now? Yeah, I've hit everything else. I don't have any shotgun ammo. Oh, I need healing items though. I'm gonna skip Jan. You look at fixed cameras as a limitation or an artistic choice. Depends what game you're talking about. But both. For some games, it's an artistic choice. Like with this game, it was. With Resident Evil Remake, although even then you could say that they just did it because of the original. But with this specific game, it was an artistic choice. With Resident Evil 1, as much as a lot of Resi fans, like big Resi fans, don't like it when you say it, it was a decision that was made as a result of a limitation. And the designers of RE1 themselves in interviews have stated that that's the reason the game had fixed camera angles. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't even chosen because of Alone in the Dark. A lot of people say it was because of Alone in the Dark specifically. It was not. They straight up have said in interviews that the reason they used fixed cameras in RE1 was because originally they were developing the game as a first-person horror game. It was an FPS game to begin with. But when they started actually designing the game, they realized how terrible the environments and the models looked. Because obviously they were limited to fully 3D first-person style on PS1. So like it worked, they were able to do it, but the game kind of looked like shit. So early on, they changed it to fixed camera because of that. Because they didn't want the game to look like shit. What game are you talking about? RE1. PS1 RE1. So Resident Evil 1 is the idea for 7. Yeah, kinda. 7 did go back to first person. There's also interviews about this from the director of 7, whose name is escaping me right now. Is it Koshi Nakanishi? Is that his name? The director of 7 and Village? I think it is. He's spoken on RE7 and the fact that the first person decision was made because of the original concept of RE1. Like, he did answer that in an interview, and that was actually the reason they went with first person. Was so that they could make a new Resi game that felt different, while also still going back to the original design concept of RE1. Which is actually really fucking cool. So in the case of fixed camera, it's both. It was initially a spiritual successor to Sweet Home. Yes. And that's actually another good example. Sweet Home was a first-person game. Sweet Home, you did navigate the game through a first-person viewpoint. All right, sorry, Richard. I'm leaving. Good old Jan Skip. I'm out. See ya, bitch. I'm sorry. No! I'm sorry, Richard. I'm sorry. The PS2 was capable. Yeah, in Yakuza, it was an artistic choice. That's why I say, like, it depends on the game you're talking about. But yeah, in the case of RE1, fixed camera and tank controls, in that one example, were choices that were made because of limitations. But that doesn't mean that any game that uses tank controls or fixed camera made that decision because of limitations. Do I have to kill the snake for the shoddy? Am I too used to skipping yawn on Chris that I forgot? Richard dies either way in the yawn fight. If he's alive at the start of it, that is. I might have missed the assault shotgun on this playthrough, which would be painful. But not the end of the world. If you're playing Jill, no. Oh. Oh god. Another new zombie. Why don't we see more fixed camera games nowadays? I don't think it's outdated at all. I don't feel like it's outdated. You do see it a good bit in indie games that are like indie survival horror games use a lot of fixed cameras because of like Resi and Silent Hill. Because most of them are inspired by Resi or Silent Hill. But in terms of AAA, yeah, I couldn't really tell you why we don't see fixed cameras more often right now. Other than I think a lot of publishers just don't really want to push the fixed camera thing, which is a weird way of phrasing it, but that's the best I'm getting right now. Remember playing through Onimusha 3, learning that Shinji Mikami played it, and had the opinion that an over-the-shoulder camera would be better for the game, which is why RE4 has it? Yeah. That's one of the fun bits of trivia, because Onimusha was also Capcom, but it was a different team. So he was, like, trying out what they had been working on, and he kind of just sat there and was like, yeah, I think this camera angle kind of sucks, actually. Like, why are you guys using this if you don't have to? Which is funny coming from the guy whose 2 Resi games at that point were fixed camera. But he was just like, no, this is kind of shit. We don't have to do this anymore. And again, they didn't have to do it for RE1 Remake necessarily either. But I'm pretty sure that here, that was a decision that was made as part of just keeping the game largely how it was in terms of feel. They could have probably done first person on the GameCube. It would not have looked like this if they did, to be fair. It would have looked more like RE4, which would have been fine. But it wouldn't have looked like this. Oh god, hold on. Hole where the eyes should be. Do you think their audience doesn't want fixed cameras? I think the vast majority of the gaming audience nowadays does not want fixed cameras. I would say that that's definitely true. As much as I hate saying it, I do think that the amount of people who enjoy fixed camera in games right now is very small. Because generally, like, if you... Even, like, on my RE reviews of, like, the fixed camera games, there are so many comments under those videos talking about how much they hate this game because of the camera and tank controls. Like, there is, rather, an overwhelming amount of gamers nowadays who just despise this control scheme and visual style. Oh my god. What a fucking unit. 3 grenades. 3 of them. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I want to stop at the item box. I do. No, I don't. I'm not going to stop at the item box yet. I'm going to, like, open up the door, grab the stuff that's right there as you first enter the area, and then run back. Yeah, Lost in Nightmares is, I think, the last time that I saw anything AAA using fixed cameras. At least from off the top of my head, that's gonna be fun in a minute. Shit. There's gonna be a dog out here too, which will also be fun. Oni 3 was all lame. Yeah, I don't know why they even went fixed camera in 3, aside from just the first 2 games had it, I guess. Because I really don't know why that decision was made with 3. Like, if you're gonna go 3D, then at that point, I don't see a whole lot of reason for fixed camera. I mean, Code Veronica did it really well, I guess, but even then, like Code Veronica, well, they were using the Dreamcast controller, so I don't know if like a third-person game would have really worked all that well at the time, but it could have. Maybe. God, I don't even know what I want to do with you. Probably just run around you. I'm gonna regret that. But without like flame rounds or something, I don't really want to shoot the Crimson Head. I should have burned that body. Feels so weird to use first aid sprays. Holy shit, it feels weird. But like, since this game doesn't have a rank system, there's no reason for me not to. Which is harder, original RE1 or remake? Remake by a long shot. Although the hunters in original RE1 are a lot deadlier. So it's kind of like, in general, remake is significantly harder, but the hunters have less of a tendency to just instantly take your head off here, which is definitely something that makes it easier in that regard. Hunters are easier to stun lock in remake as well. Like if you have a shotgun in remake, hunters aren't really a problem. Whereas in the original, you need a magnum or a grenade launcher. The shotgun can work, but it's only like a 50% chance that it's going to knock the hunter back and stun it. So half the time you try to shotgun a hunter in RE1 original, it's just gonna shrug it off and lob your head off. The most uncomfortable controller I've used? Some people are not going to like my answer. I feel like half of the chat knows my answer. There are 100% going to be people who don't like it. But it's the GameCube. If I had to pick one, it's the GameCube controller. Oh, no, it's N64. No, you're right. No, you're right. Never mind. It's the N64. How did I not think of that? I didn't even consider N64. That's the one. That's the one. Then GameCube. GameCube would be second. But yeah, it's the N64. Never mind. I take it back. I don't know why it didn't even come to mind. Because that's definitely the worst one. That thing was made for fucking aliens. I'm telling you. I don't know what they were cooking with that. Because people held N64 weird. Bro, because you had to use it right. It was just really poorly designed.
Barry?
Monster! James! Gun! Ineffective! Instant! Stay away! Forest outside mansion! Stay! Hey!
Yeah, the joystick being in the center is like the biggest issue with it. Because yeah, basically, like, I'm using an Xbox controller right now. I don't have an N64 controller, like, at my desk. But for those who have never used one, basically you had, like, your left handle, your right handle, as you'd expect. but then there was a handle in the middle, like right here in the middle, and that handle had the joystick right there. The single joystick for the controller was right here in the middle. So for a lot of games, like most games that use the joystick, at least, you would hold like the right side and the middle, and then have to like move over to the left side somehow if you ever needed to use anything over there. Super fucked controller. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like, during playtests and stuff, even just for the launch roster of games, how does no one bring up that that's just really fucking awkward? To have 3 handles and have to, like, either pick and choose one depending on the game, or try to do both at once, or bounce back and forth. How did no one complain enough to where they were like, you know, maybe 3 handles was a mistake? And maybe even if we did 3 handles, for some reason, like if we just really want that silhouette or whatever, then maybe we should like put the thumbstick not in the dead center. I don't know. Destruction. Revenge. Blue destruction, red revenge. I don't have remakes puzzles memorized still to this day, somehow. Blue north, red west. There's a mutation joke about an event that could have caused 3 hands. Chat, I played some Armor King last night for like a little bit. Again, I didn't have much time, but I played it a little bit before bed. I had like 20 minutes before bed. I was talking to False. She goes, play your Armor King. And like a child, I was like, okay. I opened it and played him a little bit. I actually played matches last night instead of just practicing the whole time. And he's so fun. I'm so happy Armor King is back. One of my favorites. I've been waiting all this time. One of the only characters I consistently enjoy playing in the Tekken games that's not a Mishima. Well, yeah, we were just talking, and I was like, there's a bit, like, I don't really have to go to bed just yet. She was like, play your Armor King. I was like, okay. You don't have to tell me twice, I'm doing it. Doesn't Armor King have an electric? He has a crouch dash too. That launches like an electric, but the frame data is way worse than any electric. And there's no just frame on it. But you can, through a stance, you can like breathe fire on your right hand. It's worth it. He just needs to go. If I'm gonna do some damage, I'm gonna kill him. And it literally just sets his right hand on fire, and then you can do the crouch dash too to get properties more similar to an electric. It buffs the frame data. And I think the damage by like 5 points, which is exactly what an electric is. What was I doing? Oh, grabbing the crest. I was like, why am I back? What am I doing? I needed the crest. But yeah, Armor King, fun. Crazy grabs, crazy combo structure. But he definitely does not have that feeling that a lot of the DLC characters have had. And I wasn't playing the game at the time, but I heard that Fuck Your Mom was like this too when he came out. He doesn't feel broken, like, at all. He feels like a very normal Tekken character, even at launch, which means he'll probably be a little underpowered once he's discovered and people know the matchup and everything. Because typically what happens is at launch, they feel broken. But then as people learn the matchup, it's like, oh no, they're fine. But Fuck Your Mom, I heard, didn't feel broken at all when he came out. And like, yeah, now he's considered like fairly low tier in the current state of the game. Armor King doesn't feel broken right now, so I worry that he might feel like he is a little low tier. But I feel like Armor King has a full kit. Like, he's got good lows, he's got awesome grabs, he has a good combo structure, he's got good mids, good launchers. Like, he feels weirdly, like, considering that he's, you know, a king, so you would think like he's gonna be very specialized. He honestly feels a bit like a jack of all trades right now, which is interesting. But I like it. It feels like he does everything well, but he's not like incredible at anything, which is good. Dogs can insta-kill you in Remake? What? People said Asuka was low tier and look at her now. Well, yeah, that's because because everyone thought that Asuka was low tier. And to be honest, she was. So fucking Bandai was like, oh, Asuka is weak, you said? And they buffed her like every single patch, significantly buffed her every single time. Oh, shit. And now, like, because she kind of flew under the radar with every buff because there were more important characters to be talking about, now she's just fucked. But she definitely was underpowered. It's like the inverse of what happened with Devil Jin during season 1. He still hasn't recovered. I say that like he has. Where Devil Jin is a very gimmicky, very like trickster style character. So everyone at release did not know the matchup. Was getting fucking bodied by Devil Jin because they didn't know the tricks. And so everyone was like, oh my god, Devil Jin is so broken. We need to nerf Devil Jin. And they did. They listened and they nerfed him like 5 patches in a row. And now that everyone knows the matchup and he got nerfed multiple times, Devil Jin is like legit tied for being the worst character in the game. Because he was never that good to begin with. He was like fairly middle of the road. It's just people didn't know the matchup yet. So everyone kind of overreacted, similar to like what happened with King. But at least with King, people had the common sense at launch to be like, okay, you know, it's King. You just have to learn how to break the throws. Take a good guess on alley kicks, and like that's about it. And then you're fine. Thankfully, they didn't listen to the community's overreaction on King, but they did on Devil Jin. And fuck, they killed him. He still hasn't recovered. That recent Kazuya buff in the newest patch, because I was playing a little Kazuya still before picking up Armor King. That one buff, they changed the property of one single move One move on Kazuya this patch. And it's crazy how much it has done for him as a character. Absolutely insane. And he really didn't need it. Kazuya was already like an A tier character. He's at least high A pushing S tier now. He would be low S tier. But they changed the frame data, the homing high. No, this patch, Raiden. This patch. The one that just happened for Armor King. The homing high isn't even good on Kazuya. Like, it's not even really worth using. Unless you're trying to catch a sidestep, but its frame data is shit. So throwing the homing high anytime that you don't have a hard read is a really bad idea. But, no. They buffed the frame data on his crouch dash 1+2. The crouch dash into like the big charge up mid that you never saw people use because it was like -4 on block and had a big wind up. They changed the frame data so that it's like +5 on block now. And now Kazuya, out of crouch dash, has electric, hell sweep, and a plus on block mid. That all of them can come out of crouch dash. And even just for pressure, especially for mix-ups and stuff, but holy shit, the pressure on his crouch dash 1+2 now is bonkers. Like, it is enough that, like, me being able to input electric quickly, and any Kazuya who can. Any Kazuya who can. And granted, this isn't something that many people have caught on to yet. Like, I haven't seen any other Kazuyas on ranked using this yet, but they will soon enough. Just as more people find out about how crazy it is. If I hit a block, if I hit that mid, that big wind up mid on block, and I immediately put in an electric, like after I can move, if the other player tries to punish the mid they just blocked, I have a 13 frame launcher coming out on -5. So even if they just try to jab me, launch into combo. Assuming I get it within the 13 or 14 frame window. Otherwise, I'm not going to win. But if you get it within those 2 frames, you launched them. The fucking pressure that comes out of that mid now is crazy. Because everyone's trying to punish it. They think, oh, big mid, it looks like it should be punishable. Just even if you don't know frame data or anything that much. It's just the kind of move that if you block it, you naturally are going to think you can punish it.
Shit.
You can't. You can't. At least not if the Kazuya you're playing against is good. It turned one of his most useless tools, like literally the only reason you'd ever throw that on its own, was for wall pressure. Like to try to stick them to the wall or something. But now it's like the greatest pressure tool out of any of the well, no, Heihachi exists now. And Heihachi's pressure game in 8 is ridiculous. Because, you know, it's Heihachi. Get off me, you bitch! Oh my god. Mid power crush can be thrown after you block them. It's a rule. Is it? I didn't know that either. It's like Rage Arts, where it's just always a guaranteed throw if you block it. I'll keep that in mind, especially playing Armor King right now. I will keep that in mind, because that sounds pretty juicy for me to know. Playing a king currently. That sounds very juicy, actually. Who's ready to get thrown for 50 damage on a mid-power crush? High power crush or safe on block? Oh. Did you grab Barry's revolver? No, Barry has his revolver. Because we have to do the best ending this run. Barry has to live this run. But yeah, if you get hit by the crouch dash mid now by Kazuya, if you block it, pro tip, don't push anything. Just keep blocking. Cause if you do, you're gonna eat shit. It is literally +5 now. It's fucked. It fucked in a good way for Kazuya. Because Kazuya didn't really have anything like that. So now it's good that he has one thing like that. Well, I guess he had electric on block. It's not the same. It's duckable. It's not the same. He had one good pressure tool that was positive on block, and it was electric. So it's not the same. I can parry when I'm -6. Oh my god, I forgot Asuka. Yeah, never mind. If you parry, you might win. Granted, it's probably a trick that will only work once or twice up in Tekken King, but yeah. Everyone's gonna love Lucy. I am not a big anime fighter guy. The only one that I enjoy is Dragon Ball Fighters, but even that is more so because it plays like Marvel versus Capcom, and I don't even really like the anime fighter stuff within that game. Like, I would love that game so much more if it didn't have the typical anime fighter stuff going on. So I've never gotten into Guilty Gear. It's not my fault if they fall for the same shit. It's not. It's like me doing like 4 hell sweeps in a row and the guy just doesn't block low. It's not my fault, right? He could have blocked any of those and punished the shit out of me. Free launch every time. But he keeps eating the hell sweep. It is funny though, because if they do eat like 3 in a row, they're never expecting you to throw a 4th one. They would never think you're crazy enough to throw a 4th one. Normally by the 5th, they start blocking low though. What? Bullshit. Oh, I'm not carrying a healing item. Have you heard the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack? I have. Usually is mid-mid-low or low-low-mid. Yeah. But I play Kazuya. You never know what the fuck I'm throwing out. You let me start that vortex, you never know. Honestly, I have so many greens. I'm just gonna... There. And Gribben. Honestly, you know, no deaths up to the guardhouse. Even though I don't feel like I'm doing great, I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm managing on hard mode just fine. Like, it does constantly feel like I have less resources than I would like. But I'm doing just fine, to be honest. I haven't died or anything. It is about that time, though. And I got big things to be working on. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't, or if you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, sorry, go ahead and leave a sub, follow, whatever, come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing all sorts of other stuff, like Yakuza 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Ace Combat 6, all sorts of good stuff. Come back for any of it. Also, if you enjoyed and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a like on the YouTube side. Helps out with algorithm. You know how that goes. Boosts it. I appreciate it. Thank you if you've done so already. Thank you if you're about to do so. If you're looking for links to anything else outside of Twitch or YouTube to engage with the community, check out links in the description below on YouTube or on Twitch. They're on the channel page. They're in chat commands. You'll find whatever you're looking for. Twitter, Discord server. They're all there. Other than that, though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you always back here next time. There's a new video tomorrow, before I leave and forget to say it. There's a new video tomorrow morning. And it's like 45 minutes long, so it's a good one. Be there. Anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream, and goodbye.